Hi students, now I am going to take internet security, that is session 8 in your unit 4, that is web publications and security lesson. So now I am going to show in slideshow way. See, what are the topics we are going to cover here in this internet security is internet security means what, then best practices for security. So what are the practices we need to follow in order to secure our computer or network, or a browser. So all those things we will discuss here. And then guidelines for managing strong password. So in order to provide or create a strong password, what are the guidelines we need to follow? And then clearing data stored in the browsers. So whenever we use the browsers, some of our personal data like username, password, and then it'll ask from us to save it for future purpose, like that it'll ask. So whether it is important to save or never save, like that we will see here in this last topic, that is clearing data which is stored in the browsers. Okay, so these are the topics we are going to see today. So first, let me move on to internet security. So what is meant by internet security? It is a branch of computer security specifically related to the internet. And often it involves browser security and also network security. So both browser security and network security together only it is making internet security. What is the objective of this internet security is to make rules and measures to use against attacks. So what kind of attacks we will have over the internet? There is password guessing attacks or password hacking attacks, and then phishing attacks, then email spoofing, then chat spoofing, like that we have many kind of attacks. Okay, so those attacks and are going to be those attacks going to be removed, or we will establish rules and measures to use against those attacks over the internet. That is the objective of this internet security. So the internet, it represents an insecure channel. So normally internet is used by all the people. Okay, overall world, all the people, most of the peoples are using internet. So it is a insecure channel for exchanging the information, because nowadays all the informations are exchanged with the help of the internet only. Okay, for exchanging information and leading to the high risk of intrusion or fraud, such as phishing. So phishing means what? So it will be looking like a normal and original one, genuine one, but it will be a fake. Okay, actually it is a fake one. So here you can see the example of one website, that is Amazon shopping website. So here www.amazon, if you look at the spelling, no, AMAZONN is given. So this is the spoof website URL. So that means it's looking like a original website, but the name, if you look at here, no, one letter is changed. So without knowing, some persons, if they are typing the website address, automatically their browser, no, it will be redirecting to the websites like this. So illegitimate websites like this, it will be moved. Okay, so this is the kind of phishing activity. Okay, spoofed website URL. So it will be taking to wrong website. So by that it will get our informations like email ID, so our phone number, or anything if we are entering, no, any of our personal data, that will be used by this unauthorized websites, that is a phishing websites. And then password also they will be stealing. Then with that they will be able to get all our personal details. Once if they get our mail ID and password, means most of our private informations and all will be shared through mail only, no, so everything they will come to know. Okay, so that's why we need to secure our that is mainly we need to enter the websites names correctly. When we are entering any website, we need to check twice or thrice whether we entered correct website name or not. Okay, so though internet provides valuable information and entertainment, it may leave our computer in unsecured way due to many online threats. So like this we have many kind of online threats. So even if the internet is having lot of advantages, the internet is providing valuable information and entertainment also for us, it may leave our computer to unsecured state. Okay, so you need to ensure that your usernames, passwords, and credit card or online banking informations secure, as they are prone to be tracked and used by unauthorized users. So whether it is secured or not, we need to ensure that, because it may be exposed to be tracked and used by unauthorized users, unknown users. No, they may able to track this or hack the information. So some websites can also install malware on the computer. That is a kind of virus. Okay, so malware, malicious on the computer, which will harm our computer by attaching itself with a normal software. Okay, with a good software, it will attach itself and it will do all the unwanted activities from our computer. Okay, in our computer. So it install some websites, no, it install malware on the computer without the user's knowledge. Okay, thereby leaving the computers in a damaged condition or insecure condition. Online threats such as phishing, then email spoofing, chat spoofing, etc., can increase the chances of users getting compromised. So the users, they may think that they are getting the mails and chat information, everything they are getting from legitimate users, like that they will think. Okay, so like that it is compromising the users. Through that it is getting private information or personal informations of the users. Okay, so here it's an example for email spoofing. See, Alia's computer gets infected by malware. Bob and Charlie, that is the malware that collects email addresses of Bob and Charlie. Uh, Charlie's mail address and Bob's address is, no, it is collected by the malware. Okay, so now here the malware, no, it is sending email to Charlie, like forging email address of Bob. Okay, so it is getting the email address of Bob. So it's like Bob's email address is going to be used in a illegitimate way by the malware in order to get some information from the Charlie. So this is the kind of email spoofing activity. Okay. Next, you can reduce the risks by using a best practices such as, so we can follow the following best practices in order to protect our computer or network also. So we need to use antivirus software, anti-spyware software, and then firewalls. We need to set strong passwords whenever we are logging into some websites. Okay, and in addition to spreading awareness of the best practices. So we need to use strong passwords. That is a combination of alphanumeric, that is alphabets and the numbers combination we need to use. That is only known as alphanumeric. And then special characters like underscore, some kind of special characters, question mark, all those special characters you can use, could be used for creating a password that is not so easy to crack or guessed by others. It is not easy to crack also if you are going to use all these kind of combinations of passwords. Okay, do not keep the passwords such as your favorite color, your mother name, father name, mainly your relatives names, bike number, mobile number. Okay, either as a single or combined option. Single option like a single number, or a combined way also. Don't keep your personal details or personal informations as the passwords. These passwords are easy to guess if a user knows you personally. So if they are very close to you, the hacker may be your close person also. Okay, so if he is able to, if he or she able to get your mail password, no, so they may able to misuse your email ID. Okay, so change your password frequently, at least 2 or 3 weeks, so that your account informations remain secure. Okay, so using strong passwords can lower the risk of security breach. Okay, security violation will not be there if you are going to use the strong password. So effectiveness of password depends on the security mechanism of the software and the user's involvement in generating a strong password. And then most of the websites checks for password effectiveness. So how we can check the effectiveness of the password, whether it is a strong one or it's a weak one. So there will be one kind of a meter will be, password meter will be displayed that indicates the strength of our password. Okay, so password effectiveness when a user attempts to register for the first time or when they change the password. So some of the websites, no, it is checking password effectiveness, whether it is a strong one or a weak one. It is going to be checked by some of the websites when the user is trying to register for the first time in some websites. Okay, so for example, when you register with Gmail, you may notice a password meter displaying the strength of your password similar to the one displayed below. So like that, whenever you are creating a Gmail account or you are going to change the password in your Gmail account, it will show the password strength. Okay, that is the effectiveness of a password is going to be shown by this password meter. Okay, so whether it is weak or strong or fair one, like that it will show So according to that, we can change the password and we can give the new password. So keep the length of the password at least 12 to 14 characters if permitted. If it is allowed, you can give 12 to 14 characters maximum. So avoid keeping passwords based on the repetition, dictionary words, or letter or number sequences, usernames, relatives names, pet names, etc. All those things need to be avoided. And then numbers we can include, symbols we can include in passwords if it is allowed. So use capital letters and lowercase letters combination. Then avoid using the same password for multiple sites. So this mistake everyone are doing, so that need to be avoided. That is, avoid using the same password for different sites and multiple sites for different purposes. Then avoid using something that the public or workmates know you strongly like or dislike. So which you like strongly, which you dislike strongly, like that. If workmates are public, if they know about you very well, avoid those kind of passwords. Use random password generators if possible. For that, one website is available, that is random password, strongpasswordgenerator.com website is available. So example for a strong password is like this. You can give the password. It's very difficult to remember, but it is considered to be a strong password. Then you may also use websites such as www.strongpasswordgenerator.com that can generate the random strong passwords when you are trying to generate the new password. When you are logging into some websites, no, if it is asking for new password, and then in that case you can go for open a web browser, and then you can type this website address. Then you press the enter, click generate strong password option, and then notice the password will be displayed under your new password category. Okay, then we need to do the backup of our data. What is meant by backup? So always we need to keep the copies of our personal data in additional media like compact disk, that is CD, pen drive, or in Gmail or any other Google Drive. So like that, wherever it is possible to keep, we need to keep the copies of our personal data. Why means this could be helpful in situation when there is a loss of data. So if any kind of malicious softwares or viruses, if it is damaging our data, no files, no, that can be saved. If you are saving in one additional location, then we can safeguard our data. Okay, so then keep the data away from unauthorized users. Unknown users should not be allowed to use the data. Then use the encryption software. So usually this encryption software will be available within the operating system of our computer itself. So to protect our data from the unauthorized users, if it is not available, if that software is not available, encryption software is not available within the operating system, we can use the third party software. That means we can buy some kind of antivirus or firewall softwares and we can install in our computer. Then keeping username and password private. Okay, so never save our username, your username and password on our computers that are used in a shared environment such as internet cafe. That means when you go to some public browsing centers and all, don't give the options like save passwords. Okay, save passwords for future use, future purpose, future reference, like that. Some notification will appear when you are entering some login password and username and password. So in that case, you just choose the option never save passwords. Okay. So browsers may save your personal data on the local computer of that internet cafe that can be used by another user using the same computer. So if another user is coming and typing, trying to open his mail ID, already you have saved your mail ID and your password and all in that browser. So automatically that mail ID and password no will get opened and they may try to misuse your mail ID contents. So better avoid when you're going for public browsing centers or public common computers when you are using, never give the option like never save passwords. So always give, choose the option like never save passwords. Don't give save passwords. Okay. So read the registering with websites. Next one is registering with websites. So we need to read the privacy statement or policy whenever we are registering with the website. That is, the statement or policy will include information about how the website use the personal data. So we need to use always whenever we try to install some app or some softwares in our computer, we need to read all the statements, whatever policies or privacy statements they are issuing before we give accept. We need to read all the statements carefully, then only we need to allow that software to be installed in our computer. or installed any website. If you are registering also, you need to read all the privacy statements. Do not share your personal information. That is websites, it may require you to fill out forms containing the fields such as name, gender, age, email address, school, etc. So when you are filling all these kind of forms, no, we need to be cautious. Okay, be careful when you are filling out such kind of forms, and you need to do research and verify whether it is a correct trustable website or not. So previously I have shown you email, that is website spoofing, that is Amazon. Only one letter changes, but it is redirecting the user to uh, it is compromising the user that it is a proper website. Okay, then your email address could be used by unauthorized users to send you the fake or unwanted emails. So you need to think twice or thrice before you provide the information to any website and decide if it is really needed or not. You need to think. Okay. Then secure transactions. So if you are using online shopping, okay, or transactions, websites even store your credit card or online banking personal information such as your credit card number and account details. Everything will be saved in that website. So this information can be tracked and used by unauthorized users, often known as hackers, to misuse our information. Again, ensure the website is legitimate, that is a proper one, and use a secure practices for performing and maintaining online transactions. We need to check it. Okay, before we go and use any website, whether it is a legitimate website, we need to check whether they are following security practices, whether they are following secure practices for performing and maintaining online transactions. We need to check it. And we need to go through all the others views also. Since information such as credit card details or personal information is sent over the network, it is always recommended to use only secured websites for such transactions. So we need to check whether the website uses secure transaction or not. How we can identify? It is indicated with the help of the digital certificate represented as a golden lock. One lock symbol will be appearing before the website address. So that is available or not, we need to check. So that is the secured website. So it is allowing secure transaction for us. So we need to check from the web browser address bar whether that lock is available or not before the website address. And we need to use antivirus and anti-spyware software. Okay, so computers are prone to attacks or exposed to attacks from the software known as malware, that is malicious ware, that could harm our computer. Okay, so malware, it will track the browsing behavior or transmit the personal data from our computer. So all our browsing histories, browsing informations and all will be tracked by this malware. So programs such as keyloggers could be installed in our computer to track and transmit every key what we are pressing on a keyboard. That is keyboard, no, when we are pressing any key, that is going to be recorded, and it will be transferred to, with the help of this keylogger software, no, it will be recorded and it will be sent to some unauthorized users. So antivirus and anti-spyware programs, it offers real-time protection of monitoring our computer for any changes by malware software. So it will be protecting our computer always against the malware software. So keep our antivirus and anti-spyware software always up to date. So you need to keep your antivirus software and spyware softwares now always up to date, because this will help in protecting our computer from recent threats. So recently any new threats, if it is coming, that can be protected, from those threats your computer can be protected because of the updation in your antivirus and anti-spyware software. So it should be updated with the help of the internet. And they do not immediately respond to the mails from unknown users. So even nowadays many people are receiving unknown chatting messages also in WhatsApp, or unknown mails also you may receive. Okay, so for those kind of messages or mails, don't respond immediately. You need to check twice or thrice before you respond to that mail. Okay, so it may be a fake mail trying to gather your personal information such as your bank account details, home addresses, anything they may ask. And some mails could promise you your job and or announce lottery results. So this much amount you have gained, you can provide your information like bank details information and all they may ask. So that will compromise the users. So never respond for those kind of mails or messages. And then in some cases virus or scripts, no, that are dangerous, it could be attached to the mail. So never open the attachment from the unknown source. And then clear the browser's cookies frequently. So what is meant by cookies? Cookies are the programs that are created on our local computer when you visit the website. So whenever you are visiting website with the help of the web browser, the cookies are the programs that is available that are created in our local computer in order to store all our website browsing history informations. Okay, so though cookies are meant for storing data based on our activity performed during our earlier visits, such as logon details, details of shopping cart, which websites and all we have went, what activities we have done, everything will be stored in the cookie software. Okay, so visited pages in a website, etc. will be stored. So they could also be tracked by unauthorized users and possibly gain access to our personal information. So cookies also never we need to save in our we should never save, or else we can clear the browsing histories whenever possible. Okay, so keep the operating system and software applications up to date. Though operating systems and applications are designed and tested and distributed, sometimes they may have security holes also, through which a hacker can take the advantage, and they may track and gather the information, or even they will damage the whole computer. So in general, most vendors, there is most sellers of operating systems, no, or softwares, no, they will notify the users whenever a security hole is identified. So whenever any kind of a problem is going to occur in our computer, so the vendor of that software, they will notify us. Okay, any kind of updates if we want to make in our computer, they will send the notification. Okay, so in the notification area, normally that is the status bar, that is taskbar's right side, no, right side corner, will have a notification area. In that area you will get the notification whenever you want, that is your computer, no, want to be notified about the software updates or anything, that can be notified by the vendor. So most vendors notify the users, intimate the users whenever a security hole is identified or an update is available to address that particular issue. So any kind of issues arised, so in order to manage that issue, they will notify the information, they will send the notification information in order to safeguard our computer. So you can also visit respective vendors website to check if there are any updates available. So download and keep our operating system and software applications up to date, free from security holes. If it is a old software, there may be a chance of attack or any kind of hacking may occur. So in order to safeguard your computer from those kind of hackers, no, or trackers, you can safeguard your computer by giving updates and downloading that softwares and keeping in the operating system and applications, software applications, in a up-to-date condition. So next we need to install firewalls. So firewall is, it can be a software or hardware. It is helping in keeping the computer and the network secured way. Okay, computer also and network also can be kept in a secured way with the help of this firewall. It may be a software or it may be a hardware also. So firewalls, it analyzes the network traffic and determine if the traffic should be allowed or not. So if at a time many congestion, that is traffic occurs in a network, huge amount of data is transmitted at a single time, it will check whether that traffic is originally legitimate data or illegitimate data. Like that it will check, then it will analyze, according to that it will block the data, or it will allow the data to be transmitted. Then, in most cases, operating systems such as Linux, Windows, Mac OS includes the firewall software as part of the operating system. So it is keeping the computer in a secured way. In rare cases, you may need to configure your firewall for additional security. So never install the software from unknown sources. That means, as they might not be trustworthy, download only from the well-known or reputed websites. Verify the source if it is legitimate by searching the internet or referring to the comments from the other users before downloading any softwares or any app. You just go through the comments which is provided by the other users, or verify the source whether it is correct one or not, correct website or not. So understand the nature and the purpose of the software before attempting to download and install them. So these might have got installed without your knowledge. that is unwanted and unknown software applications, no, it can be installed without our knowledge when you have visited some websites. So that unwanted software, what it will do, it could get installed as they might have been bundled along with the necessary software. So it will be attached along with the necessary software, that is important software. Along with that, this malicious kind of softwares will be attaches itself, and it will be entered in our computer. So some programs such as toolbars get installed usually through the bundled software and are programmed to send the personal data without your knowledge. So web browsers, clearing data just stored in the browsers. Web browsers have built-in password management designed to store the passwords used in the forms on websites. So in websites, most of the websites, they are having forms in order to fill the details. So whenever the details are going to be filled in the forms, that is built-in password management facilities there in every browser. So the browser will save all those kind of informations. So browsers often prompt to save usernames and passwords when the user attempt to log on to the websites. So this facility is offered to users so that they can log on to their frequently used websites without having to type the username and the password again. So however, it is not advisable to leave the web browser to store the data, particularly on the public or shared computers. If it is your computer, you can save your password or username. But when you are using a publicly available computer, you should not, it is not advisable to save, choose the option as save passwords. To clear the personal data from a web browser such as Mozilla Firefox, or we need to launch the browser, that is open the browser, then click the tools menu, click the options, click the security tab. The following window will be displayed. In that, remember passwords for sites, that checked option you need to uncheck it. Okay, then click on OK. So notice that under password sections, that is in the password sections under, okay, remember passwords for site is checked. This means the browser is configured to save the passwords for the websites automatically. So whenever you visit some websites, when it is asking for a username and password, so automatically the browser will save your username and password. So like that, this security tab is set with this, there is password options. No, it is enabled here, that you need to uncheck it. So you can uncheck remember password for sites option if you prefer not to store the passwords. So Mozilla Firefox can also use the cookies such as store the data such as cookies, visited websites or web pages data, browsing history, etc. So to clear the stored data, click General tab and Option. The following window will get displayed. So if you want to clear the stored data like cookies and visited websites data now, so all those things we can clear with the help of this General tab and the Option. See here, click on General tab, and any previous histories and all want to be cleared, you can go for this General tab and you can clear it. And we can click Privacy tab. The following window will be displayed. So in that, remember history, under history, remember history, and then never remember history, use custom settings for history. So like that, three options will get displayed when you are clicking on this Privacy tab. So you need to choose the never remember history if your web browser don't want to remember all your history related information. Okay, so Firefox is configured to remember the browsing and downloading history, search and form history and cookies. So if you do not is to store the above mentioned data, select never remember history from the drop down list. See, like this, never remember history we need to choose from the drop down list. If you are in a public environment such as cyber safe, you may select the option clear all current history. Clear all current history also, we can choose it. So on selecting this option, the following window will get displayed. So here cookies, browsing and download history, cache and active logins, everything can be removed. So you just click on clear now and click OK. From now on, the Mozilla Firefox will not remember any history information as you have configured it that way. So there are several online threats such as phishing, email spoofing, chat spoofing, etc. are available. You can reduce the risks by using best practices such as using antivirus, anti-spyware software, and then firewalls, strong passwords, etc. In addition to spreading awareness of the best practices. So we can reduce the risk by using what? Antivirus, anti-spyware software, and then firewall, strong passwords we can set. in addition to spreading awareness of the best practices. So guidelines also, we have seen how to set the strong passwords, and whenever we install some softwares, no legitimate softwares, whether it is downloaded from the proper website or not, we need to check. So all those practices we need to follow whenever we go and use the internet. So thank you. With this, I'll wind up this session, internet security session. I'm winding up. So you go through the content in your PDF material, and study for your coming exam. So from unit 4, that is web applications and security, study from session 1 to 8, and from electronic spreadsheet session 2 to 3, 4, 2, 3 and 4, you study for your exam. All the best.